What is the rodeo capital of the world? Stay tuned. Believe it or not, is actually Mesquite, Texas. And since 1986, the Mesquite Arena opened its doors for the Mesquite Pro Rodeo. Mesquite is 50 square miles in area, and I consider that a large city. It's actually one of the largest cities in the Dallas County, and it's incredibly convenient. And you know, it's not completely planned like that. So we're going to talk about Mesquite today. We're going to talk about Mesquite's history, what it's like to live in the city. We're also going to talk about the affordability, the employment, the lifestyle, and of course, the real estate. And we're also going to take this opportunity to compare Mesquite to the other cities in the DFW Metroplex, because I really want to cover everything that you need to know about Mesquite, Texas. Mesquite's located directly east of Dallas, and it used to be the most easternmost part of the Metroplex. However, that quickly changed after Lake Ray Hubbard was dammed up in 1969. You have four major highways traversing this city. Interstate 30 running east and west. 635 traversing right through the middle going north and south. You have Highway 80 running through the center of the city. And towards the south, you also have Interstate 20. Now, if you're going to try to get to Fort Worth, Texas, to visit the Fort Worth Water Gardens, which is actually an amazing place. It's an amazing time. Logan's Run was actually filmed at that place, the Water Garden. It's going to take you about 45 minutes to get there. And if you need to get to Dallas to check out the zoo, well, that's going to take you about 20 minutes. Now, if you're going to get to the DFW International Airport to catch a flight out, you're going to need about 30 minutes minimum. I demonstrate these travel times so that you can have an understanding of what a commute will look like in the DFW area, especially to these frequented locations such as the Fort Worth Water Gardens, the Dallas Zoo, and of course the airport. Because at one point or another, you're going to find yourself going there. Now, allow me to welcome you to the Living in Dallas, Frisco, and Fort Worth channel. My name is Robert Owen, and if this is the first time to our channel, please hit the subscribe button. It would help us out, and we will let you know everything that there is to know about living in this great metroplex. So now, for some quick history, Mesquite was established by the Texas and Pacific Railway, a lot like the other cities, in 1873. However, the city of Mesquite wasn't officially incorporated until 1887, which at the beginning had a very modest growth given that it was very agricultural based and focused towards the present day. Mesquite now has over 150,000 residents and is a thriving suburban community, which we need to make a note that the premier attraction to the city is the Mesquite Championship Rodeo, which is a nationally televised event on ESPN and is a pretty big deal in the rodeo community. So, to add some context to Mesquite and compare it to the other cities in the area, let's visit our trusted website, niche.com. Niche.com, which interprets millions of public data sets to be able to compare and contrast these cities to each other. And as you can see, Mesquite received a B from niche.com, weighing these 12 different categories, including school, housing, crime, safety, nightlife. And as we know, that's what the algorithm can say. So what do the current residents say about them? Well, after 600 reviews, we see that Mesquite received a 4 out of 5 stars. Now, that's pretty good. Now, I'm going to put an extensive report in the link below, so just check out the links below. I'll put in a full report, and you can explore every single category. And you can read all the reviews to your heart's content, because now we're going to start talking about some fun stuff. We're going to be talking about the trails, the parks, the activities, the recreation. We're going to be covering what it looks like from Mesquite Park's perspective. You certainly have options all across the city. It doesn't matter where you're living or where you're from, there's all sorts of trails across Mesquite. It gives you plenty of options, gives you miles and miles and miles of trails to choose from all across the city. If you like this kind of community and you enjoy this kind of feel, you like to meet your neighbors and know your community, Mesquite has plenty of options for you there. Now, if you're an older guy like myself and you like to get your steps in, there's soccer, tennis, basketball, all sorts of stuff that you can play in Mesquite. There's lots of options. So now we need to talk about one of the most important requirements for every single homeowner, which is the Mesquite ISD school system, right? Because regardless of whether you have kids or not, the school system matters. Number one, there's property taxes that you're going to be paying into the system, and that's going to determine how much you pay in property taxes. And secondly, it can impact your overall value of your home. Mesquite ISD covers 3 different communities of Mesquite, which is Garland, Falls Springs, as well of areas of Dallas, which is presently serving over 38,000 students across 52 campuses. Now, if class size is important to you, and I know it is for a lot of people, know that Mesquite ISD has a 15-to-1 student-teacher ratio, which is right on target with the other cities. The state average and the experience of each teacher, 85% of the teachers have at least 3 years or more of experience, which is 1% better than the state average. Now, as a real estate agent, there are some certain things that I'm not able to cover when it comes to schools. So, again, I'm going to leave a link and a full report down below. So, if you want to check out Mesquite ISD, do that. Now for something really important, which is the real estate. Because regardless of whether you're a renter or a homeowner, real estate impacts your quality of life. So let's start off from a big perspective, the macro perspective. The median home value in Mesquite is $209,000. Now this value is easily adjusted for other things and only includes the middle price tier of homes. So for Mesquite homes have gone up 29% in value over 2022, and that is not typical at all. In fact, it's one of the highest percentage jumps all across the DFW area. Over the last 10 years, prices have gone up, but not as drastic as what happened in 21 and 22. And now that we know that the median home value in Mesquite is $209,000, now we need to take a look at that number and compare and contrast it to its neighboring cities so we have an idea where it stands against its neighbors. Now, the median home value for its neighbor up to the north is Garland. It's $322,000. Sunnyvale to the west is $496,000. Forney to the south, $278,000. Seagoville is $290,000, and the median home value in Dallas is $337,000. Now, what that tells us is that Mesquite's median home value is actually on the lower end of the spectrum. In fact, it's one of the most affordable cities all across the DFW Metroplex. So you get a better feel of what $200,009 is going to buy you in Mesquite. So to give you a more up-to-date current list of preferred homes in Mesquite, again, check out the link below. We're going to leave a complete description and give you a good idea of what the monthly payments are going to be in this area. But that's a great lead-in into my next subject, which is the cost of living in Mesquite. So overall, the cost of living in Mesquite is 2% less than the national average. On groceries expect to pay about 3% less, and for its housing, about 20% less compared to the other cities, and the utilities on target with the other cities. Now, transportation is going to be a little bit more. You can expect to pay about 20% more than the national average. So if you're thinking, Rob, Mesquite is the place for me, then just reach out, do a Zoom call with me. I'd be happy to tell you all about the cities all across Dallas, Frisco, and Fort Worth. Thank you for watching, and I shall see you in the next video.